Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I like to pray to the east. I like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto his truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful live camp through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of live camp today is for the vision is yet for appointed time. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we seeing right now, well, before I get started, I thought I had my tripod in my truck, and I messed around and left it at the house. I thought for sure I had it in there. I didn't have it. So I said, hey, man, the show, the word still got to push out. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to wait and try to do it another day. I might as well just go ahead on and do it in the truck, So I was already at the spot. So you know what? I said, hey, I remember to keep it in the truck. So, but that's all under the bridge right now. But we seeing right now, we're very close to them implementing this new digital society, this beast system, and everybody is going to be dealing with this 6G technology. They're getting ready to bring forth, and everybody got a little article on that. And I have some videos to bring out also. So we see it right now that we're seeing that the vision is for the appointed time. These prophecies right now are what are speaking. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. It's not tyranny anymore. It's not delaying anymore. So we seeing that the signs of the time are here. They're right before our eyes. So now we knowing that we read upon this time, Revelation chapter 13, where it says you will not be able to buy or sell unless you have it under your skin. Implantable device, that grain of rice, the RFD microchip, GMS, they got the 100% truth. They constantly been warning you about the left and right. So a lot of these gainsaver people that is constantly saying this is not, it's going to happen, that ain't going to happen, don't believe, constantly despising the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And guess what? These things are happening right before your eyes. You're getting ready to be made out of a liar. And also the Lord is constantly bringing forth judgment upon these wicked false prophets. These one that's constantly coming up to men of the Lord. The Lord's constantly unaliving them left and right. If he's not unaliving, he's putting them into prison. So the Lord is making an example out of them. And one thing about we know that first mighty judgment will start at the house of Israel. So the Lord is going to purge out the rebels, constantly bucking up against the truth. And everybody, you can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So that's where we at right now. We're seeing right now that it's a major buildup is building up. China troops are building up in the Caribbean, I think off the coast of Cuba. I got a little bit on about Dabu 7s with that. So a lot of things is constantly happening. That's why the men of the Lord, we constantly warn you about these things. They're here, they're at the door. These prophecies are speaking loud and clear. The war drums are constantly beating. So right now we're seeing that, there's still a pause to go into Venezuela. So we're going to see how that turn out. But they already been warned by Russia and China, that if they go into Venezuela, they're going to attack. They're going to aid Venezuela. So we already seeing that Ezekiel chapter 38 is constantly lining up. But we knowing that World War III is going to begin in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Bible said, we know that the least of the flock should draw them out, which in fact is Israel. So we seeing that tension is constantly rising between Iran and Israel. A lot of things are happening. Ukraine and Russia, Taiwan and China. Things are just picking up left and right. So all the nations right now are preparing for war. And who causing these things to happen? Which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. He's controlling the minds of these leaders across the world. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly been warning you about these things left and right. So right now, that a vision, which in fact are the signs of the time, the prophecy is for that appointed time. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly been warning you about these things left and right. It is here, it is at the door. So I put out a little short earlier today, and I think the elder out of New New York, I think his name Amawan Gabar, he put out a lesson about breaking news about this 5G technology, whereby it's going to connect you to the internet of bodies. It's going to make you a walking device. And about, we already know what happened in 2020, whereby they gave you that digital download to make you what you call a receiver, you know what I'm saying? So you can receive frequencies, receive data, you know, and information. We put it like that. So, hey man, these things right here, the technology is here. So we know that right now that the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath, because what? He knowing that his time is very short. So before we start, we'll go here first and to get a quick precept. Then we're gonna open up the lesson. We're gonna go into a few news articles. Then we're gonna go into some videos. But man, I'm telling you right now, we're very close than ever. You know that these things are coming upon us. So we know we're coming upon a new year, which in fact is 2026. It could be the possible dark winter that Biden talked about over a couple of years back. I think it was 2 or 3 years back. He said that this could be the possible dark winter. It could, you know, it's about to get real. But hey, we're gonna see. You know, it's right here before our eyes, man. Let's go here. It said Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2 and in verse 3, we'll start here first. Said, you know, the title of the day lesson, it said, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. It said, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So right now that vision is talking about what the prophecies, you know, the signs of the time. Things are what? Are constantly lining up left and right. Things are not prolonging anymore. Things are happening at a fast pace, because what? We're living in the end time, real time. We're seeing that the end is right here before our eyes. So let's get this in the NLT. It says here, the vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. So if it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. So right now, you know, a lot of people are seeing right now that these things are picking up. So we're seeing right now that 2026, it's coming very fast. Also, we're at the end of 2025, and these prophecies are constantly, you know, like running like what? Warp speed. And also we knowing that the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. We're seeing he knowing that his time is very short. So now he's getting ready to put his plan into action. What is that? That 2030 agenda. Also the 2026 agenda. You know, they want what? Total control. You know, so we knowing that he's getting ready to come with these draconian laws. So let's read this once again. It said Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. It said the visions or the prophecies is for a future time. So it describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. So if it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. So one thing about it, the Lord's word will not return to him void. We're seeing right now these things are constantly picking up. Things are constantly lining up, just like the Bible said. So now we'll start here first. Let's go here and get this right here. You know, a lot of people, you know, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. But this right here is right off the government website, the White House website right here. And then before we get started, we're gonna put up this disclaimer right quick. You know, fair use disclaimer. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put this up right quick before we get started. You know, fair use. You know, because, you know, we already know that the famine of the word is fast approaching. And also we know that they get ready to come with these strict freedom of speech laws very soon, whereby you speak out about a certain thing, you know, you will be in prison, also even unalive. So we coming upon this time. Great persecution is coming. So this copyright disclaimer, it said the copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 allows allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Said non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So I'm gonna show that disclaimer right quick, because, you know, YouTube, you know what I'm saying, they'll pull your damn video down. You know, let me put it back up again, because it look like it faded off or something. But you know, put it back up, see right there, you know, see, we seeing right now, you know, that we right here, fair use. So now let's go here to this this article about this 6G technology. Let me see, can I get it, pull it back up? Let's see here, pull it right back up once again. It said right here, the White House, it says here, the White House said fact sheet. It said President Donald J. Trump takes action to win the 6G race. See right here? Show it to you right there. So you know, we're not talking out the side of our neck. This is all common knowledge. And also you can do a quick Google search, ChatGPT, you know what I'm saying? You know, they got an AI, you know, AI overview. These things right here, all this knowledge before the Lord said wisdom and knowledge shall increase in the end time through what? The internet, through the what? The World Wide Web. So we're not talking out the side of our neck. It says here, securing the spectrum so America needs. It said today, President Donald J. Trump signed a presidential memorandum to ensure America leadership in 6G development. So see that right there? It coming with this technology. It said the memorandum. It says that the memorandum describes immediate planning to relocate federal system currently using 7.125 gigahertz band of spectrum, so it can be cleared for full power commercial 6G use. So let's go down here. Let's get a little bit more of this cutting edge technology. It said winning the 6G race. President Trump is taking divisive action to win the global race for 6G. It says 6G networks will provide the foundation to operate cutting edge technologies of the next decade, including AI, robotics, implantable technologies, and many other advancements. So it will also deliver dramatically faster connection speeds, ultra low latency, and higher data capacity. So right there, you know, it's telling you that, you know, this is going to be digital, programmable, and also implantable. Right here, it's telling you right here. So this 5G is going to connect you to the internet of bodies. So they get ready to do away with the smartphone, the smart devices, because you're going to become a walking device. That's exactly where we at right now. So these things, man, are right here before our eyes, man. I'm telling you, man. The men of the Lord constantly warn you, at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come. It's right here at the door. So that's what I want to get a little bit of this, but you can always go back to this website and look it up. You know, it's about the White House. So you go ahead and look that up about 5G, 6G technology. It's telling you, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to go too deep into it, but let's get this video right here to bring it out with a little bit more. I got a video to bring it out with just a little bit more edification. Let's go here to, we got two of them I'm gonna bring out. Let's bring this one out here, winning the 6G race. And also Amawar Gabar, the elder out of New York, brought it out, you know, for breaking news, which in fact, you know, this is one prophecy you cannot get wrong. And one thing about it, we know that the hour of temptation, the hour of testing is fast approaching. So now let's go here. Let's get this quick video and see what it play.
Check this out. This is from the White House, winning the 6G race.
See if I can get
Presidential memorandum, December 19th of 2025. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but I'm going to point something out. But I want you to take a look at this and pause and get a good look at that. Very interesting stuff. But as we scroll down, it says subject, winning the 6G race. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, I hereby direct. Section 1, purpose. The next generation of mobile communication network, 6G, will be foundational to the national security, foreign policy, and economic prosperity of the United States. This technology will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and implantable technologies, like the ones that I post the papers about. 6G will also provide faster, more resilient, and more secure communication networks that can be utilized for national security and public safety purposes. It is the policy of the United States to lead the world in 6G development. Certain steps are necessary to achieve the goal of this policy, including steadfastly advancing American interest in the international standards bodies that will play a crucial role in 6G development, and identifying a significant volume of radio frequency spectrum that can be harmonized for 6G networks internationally. My administration has been studying multiple spectrum bands this year to determine what federal spectrum can be reallocated to commercial use for 6G development without undermining national security missions that occur in those bands, consistent with the preliminary conclusions of those evaluations.
That's enough. We're gonna get to that. But we seeing. So you can find this on you can go and find this information on TikTok. You can go and do a quick Google search, but I'm just showing you that we're here. So they get ready to bring forth this new digital society where it's going to be programmable, also implantable. Also, man, I'm telling you, we're here. It's at the door, digital, programmable, also under your skin. You know what I'm saying? Mention fact, you know what I'm saying? We're here, man. These things, I'm very excited because we know that we're at the end of this thing. I got another one to bring it out a little bit more, by this report by
now, without addressing
by Reacted. We're gonna get this too. Let's get a little of this here. But we seeing right now that you will not be able to buy or sell if you don't be a part of this new digital society. You know what I'm saying? Man, we constantly telling you left and right, it is here, it is at the door. It is speaking loud and clear, man. We're gonna go into another one by Dabu 7 in a minute. Let's get to one here by Redacted. Let's get this one here. If I can get it to play. One moment, one thing, but I tell you, one thing is another.
And now, without addressing one single of those concerns, they're preparing to unleash something far more powerful, far more invasive, and potentially far more dangerous: 6G. So here today, I wanted to break down exactly what this technology is, how it works, why governments and corporations are racing to deploy it right now, and why, once again, experts and scientists are sounding the alarm about its risks, from cybersecurity to surveillance to national security to human health. Like across the board, they're criticizing this. Because once you understand what 6G actually does, you'll understand why this isn't just like another tech upgrade, like some guy up on a tower just like upgrading a transformer. It will be a transformation of human life and possibly a threat to it, in the very same way that mRNA vaccines changed millions of lives. So what is 6G exactly? So let's start with some of the basics. 6G is the 6th generation of the cellular network technology, the thing that's supposed to replace 5G. Of course, that's the obvious part. But unlike previous upgrades, the jump from 5G to 6G is actually massive. 6G will operate on frequencies far higher than anything used today. It's extremely tight. It's like laser-like beams of energy that can deliver unimaginable data speeds, near zero latency. Now, I've spoken to sources who've worked for these companies, and they've told me their business plan is to basically eliminate your need for Wi-Fi in your home. Like, you won't need to call up Comcast. You won't need to call up any other providers because 6G will just be all around you. Why would you pay for Comcast? It's going to be super fast, so no need to get Xfinity in your home. No need to have a router in your home. That's the plan. I've seen the documents, and I've talked to the techs who are actually building this out. So here's the major difference, though, between 5G and 6G. 6G will be AI native, of course. So everything's AI, right? Artificial intelligence won't be just an add-on. It will be built into the network at every level. The system will make real-time decisions. It'll reroute traffic. It'll identify patterns. And by the way, it'll self-heal itself without a single human being even being involved in it. Skynet, I guess, right? So this network becomes autonomous. So in other words, this is the first time in history that we are creating a communication system that actually thinks for itself and heals itself. So how does this 6G actually work? Well, let's break this down. 5G runs mostly on sub-G 6 gigahertz and some millimeter wave frequencies. 6G leaps into the terahertz spectrum, roughly 100 times faster than 5G. But those frequencies can't travel far. They get blocked by like cement walls and trees. Even humidity blocks it. Good luck, Florida. So how do you actually blanket an entire country or the entire planet with something that...
You see what I'm saying? See how they come with this digital prison? That 6G is going to bring it, closer. So also it's going to be dealing with that Palantir, Big Brother is watching. So they putting all these things into place left and right. It's going to be dealing with your biometrics, your digital ID, your face recognition, carbon footprinting, a lot of things they get ready to put into place. And the men of the Lord, we constantly been warning you about these things left and right, man. These things are here. So let's go here to Revelations. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, because we know that the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath, because he's putting these things into place very quickly. You know, he's seeing right now he's getting ready to make his move, but when he make his move, the Lord is going to make his move also. You know what I'm saying? This man, you know what I'm saying, is imagine a vain thing. He still think in his inward part that he will rule forever, but he's in for a rude awakening. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12 said, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knowing that he has but a short time. So right here, he knowing that he has a short time. That's why he constantly putting these things into place. It's 5G technology. You know, he's rolling it out. You know what I'm saying? January the 26th, you know, he's trying to put it into play. You know, they're in a race with China. We already know that China is the forefront, and also Sweden. You know what I'm saying? They are the blueprint, what is coming to America. That's what we're constantly warning you about right now. It said, rejoice ye heaven. It's talking about Israel. It's saying, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. It's talking about the people. It said, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath. And out about when you go into that word devil, it goes into dabble, someone that is a false accuser, someone that is very slanderous, someone that is very deceiving. You know what I'm saying? Cunning. It's talking about the modern day so-called white man. And it says coming down unto you, having great wrath, because he knowing that his time is very short. So right now he's getting ready to come with Operation Warp Speed, getting ready to come with this this other operation he coming with 2026, the Project 2026, also Agenda 2030. So he's putting all these things into place, coming with this NWO, this total control, this digital society, this digital prison that will make you a perpetual slave. It's going to line up perfectly with Revelation chapter 13, 15 through 18. You know what I'm saying? At the end, it shall speak and not lie. You know, he have power to give the image to this system. You know what I'm saying? 5G and 6G blockchain technology. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at right now. So, you know, so this devil's getting ready to roll it out right before our eyes. So that's what we constantly warn you about. Let's go here to 2 Corinthians, because, you know, he's trying to get that advantage. 2 Corinthians chapter, just a quick live through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, I hate I left my tripod, but hey, the show must, I mean, you know, this truth must keep pushing on. That's why our Lord gave multiple ways to put out this truth. It says here, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11 said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And out about the physical counterpart of Satan is what the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying? Which in fact, he's doing the bidding, you know, of Satan, you know, from the left-hand side. And I would say, he's trying to get that advantage. That advantage is total control. You will not be able to buy or sell. You will not be able to go into another city without having this under your skin. You will not be able to do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? It says here, it said, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Talking about starting with the men of the Lord, the prophets, the 144, and also the true believers of Yahweh by Shem Shai. You know what I'm saying? Then when you go into that word device, it goes into his plan, his plot, his evil scheme. You know what I'm saying? His mindset. And one thing about that, you know what I'm saying? That's where we at right now. This man is getting ready to try to rule it out to make you a perpetual slave. You know. And let's go here to this one here to 1 Peter. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5. 1 Peter, because you know, hey man, this man here, he's getting ready to roll it out. That's what we constantly warn you about. Let's go here to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8 said, be sober, be vigilant, watchful, see, because your adversary, the enemy, the devil, which in fact is the modern day so-called white man, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Now, everybody see exactly what he's trying to do. He wants that total control. That's what we constantly warning you about, left and right. This man is, you know, he's in a race. He's constantly scratching and fighting to try to keep that number one top position, you know, the number one superpower. But one thing about it, we already know that America is constantly circling the drain. And that about we already know that, you know what I'm saying, you know, the power is in his hand right now. Let's get that right quick. Let's go here to Micah chapter 2. Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it. because this is in the power of their hand. So it also just line up with Job chapter 9 and verse 24, that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, which in fact the modern day so-called white man. They are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. And now the Bible you're seeing right now, the power is in his hand. So he's going to try to perform it. He's going to try to execute this new digital prison, whereby it's going to be digital programmable and also implantable under your skin. We sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. So now let's go here to St. John chapter 9. Because we coming upon that time where no man worketh, and that's why we constantly warn you about these things, because we know that the famine of the word is fast approaching. And one thing about it, hey, either you will hear or either you will forbear, because we coming in these times now. Everyone on the planet is getting ready to be tested. You know what I'm saying? Out about the hour of temptation is fast approaching. The men of the Lord, we're constantly warning you about these things. Let's go here, John chapter 9 and verse 4. So much been on my mind that I forgot my own tripod. That was the first time, I was in the here trying to do the Lord's work, but the Lord, he always make another way. It said, John chapter 9 and verse 4 said, so I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. Said the night cometh when no man can work. So that hour is coming when no man will work, because the Lord is getting ready to bring forth destruction like we have never seen before. We're seeing that the door of repentance is constantly closing. We're seeing our salvation is at the door. We're seeing that these prophecies are speaking loud and clear in the middle of the Lord. We're constantly sighing and crying left and right, warning you. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord is getting ready to what? To bring it. It's at the what? It's at the door. Let's go here to Matthew's. Let's go into Matthew chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24. And we're seeing right here, then we're going to get that double 7. We're going to start here right here. It says, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. It said, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for Salah. Let me start over again. I got a little bit sidetracked. It says here, Matthew chapter 24 verse 6 said, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So right now, that's what we're constantly seeing. Rumors of war everywhere. All these nations are constantly preparing for war. We're seeing that the build up in the Caribbean, with we're seeing that China's doing stimulation. They're doing military drills in the Caribbean. Also, we're seeing that things is constantly rising over there in the Arctic Circle. And also, we already know that Denmark and also Europe is warning America if they go into Greenland or try to make Greenland become a part of the U.S., they're going to attack. So we seeing, man, these Bible prophecies are lining up. So we constantly seeing rumors behind rumors. It says here, verse 7 says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. That's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing these nations rising against nations. We're seeing that a lot of these nations are coming in new alliance against the West and also Israel. We constantly seeing these things left and right, man. These things are here at the door. We're here, man. We constantly warn you left, right. Pestilence, So we're seeing a lot of different outbreaks they've been talking about. This super bird flu. Also, it's a high case of HIV. You know what I'm saying? Shalom to you, brother on the comment board. I can't hardly see it right now. Issachar serving. Okay. Issachar serving. Shalom to you, brother. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. We so very excited. So we seeing right now these nations are rising against nations. We seeing, a lot of division. We're seeing a lot of uprising. We're seeing a lot of uncertainties. A lot of people right now are finding out who is causing these problems upon the earth. It says right here, famines, so we know that right now we're right upon a great economic collapse. This a reset that they're getting ready to do. We know that they get ready to bring this old system down and bring forth this new system. We already know that they already have things in place. They know that they're coming with this new digital data system that they're putting in Tennessee. They got one in Texas. They constantly putting it together. It's 5G and 6G blockchain technology. You know what I'm saying? They need all these different things. And also we know that they come with that, the C-HIP, these chips, this grain of rice. You know, it's going to be pushing, it's going to be the main thing that push out this new system, you know. So Palantir, Big Brother is watching. So a lot of these things are coming into play. That's why we constantly want earthquakes in diverse places, in different places around the world. We constantly seeing, you know what I'm saying, earthquakes pretty much every day. All sorts of devastation. Also, we're seeing flooding in the northwest, Pacific Northwest. We're seeing it over there, and also it's coming into California, flooding, earthquakes. You know what I'm saying? Tsunamis. A lot of things are constantly happening left and right. But the Lord said this right here in verse 8. He said, all these are the beginning of sorrows. You know what I'm saying? Let's read it in the NLT. He said, but all this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. So we're seeing that more of these things, it's going to constantly happen. More increase. It's going to get more intense. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a time of trouble that we have never seen before. So now let's drop down to verse, let's start here at verse, verse 20. He said, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. We already know this. This is talking about 70 AD, but I'm gonna use it in a modern sense, whereby pray that your flight don't be in the winter. We know that we coming upon this could be 2026, could be the possible dark winter that that Biden was talking about, which in fact the Lord is gonna bring it forth anyway. So we seeing right now that these things are happening right before our eyes. Could 2026 be the possible dark winter? Let's go here. It's in verse 21 said, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. So it's coming upon a great tribulation period that we have never seen before. A time of trouble that never ever, that you never would have ever thought of. You know what I'm saying? Just like, my grandparents used to say, my mother and my father used to say all day, if you live long enough, you're going to see something that, that you thought would never ever happen. So it's happening right before our eyes, man. This time of trouble is coming, man. Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. The men of the Lord will constantly warn you left and right. Verse 22 said, except those days should be short, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So one thing about it, the Lord is going to deliver his elect, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the house of David, the one that's constantly sighing and crying, the one that's constantly magnifying his name left and right. Also the one that's sounding alarm, warning you of all these things that's constantly happening right before our eyes, man. We are so very close. We are very excited. So now let's get this video by Dabu 7. It is very important that, it's a major buildup with China troops down there right now. Man, we seeing right now, man, they're right here in our own backyard. And, and a lot of people going around here just going on with their daily life, constantly relaxing in their leaves, still thinking that they're a good case. And all hell is getting ready to break loose all around us simultaneously. That's what we constantly warn you about, And the Lord said, behold, I come quickly. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he's going to come like a thief in the night. So let's go here to, let's get this one here by Dabu 7. If I can pull it up. Let me see, can I pull it up? If I can't pull it up, I'm hoping I can pull it up. But, we already knowing how they mess with things when you try to put out a lesson, and they just you got things already rigged up, ready to go, but they'll mess with it sometimes. Here it is right here. Yeah, well, it disappeared on me. Let's go right here. Let me see, can I get it pulled up right quick?
All right, guys.
Here it is right here.
All right, guys, we got some moves being made here by China that's catching the attention of the U.S. military. They say that they're running simulation now on trying to run up into Cuba and the surrounding areas. And this is all in response to Trump's gunboat diplomacy, so to speak. Trump is now seizing vessels and holding the oil. They've blocked off this whole region. A lot of that oil is going to China, or was supposed to, China and Iran. So now, they've been caught simulating this war scenario where China rolls up on Cuba and Mexico. And most of the time, this is rare. You don't get a chance to ever see or hear of any of this type of war gaming, so to speak.
But they showed this on their national television, and some think that it's an ominous sign, like a warning to Trump that Xi Jinping and the Chinese are extremely ticked off. Now, in this whole simulation, there's a red team and a blue team. The red team representing China, the blue team, the enemy, or in this case, the United States. And it says that the blue side congregated near Houston, Texas, and then they headed down southeast into the Gulf of Mexico, while the red side was seen in the Caribbean, making moves up on Cuba and swooping in also on Mexico. So this is very interesting here, that they're war gaming, simulating a war in the Caribbean. Now, I want to remind everybody, if you missed the live show,
so that's enough of that, you know. But we see it right now. So this stimulation is really is prophecy, whereby, you know, we see that China military stimulate Caribbean war scenario. So we see it right now that the Lord said that He will fill America with the enemy like what caterpillars. We're going to get that in a minute. So this Bible is speaking right now. You know what I'm saying? At the end it shall speak and not lie, for the visions yet for appointed time. So right now we're seeing that now they're doing these stimulation, these military drills, getting prepared what's to come. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is causing these things to happen. That's what we warning you about. So let's go to Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah and get this right quick, you know, because the Lord has said He will fill America with caterpillar, Babylon the Great. Let's go here. Let's get that, because this is exactly what this is going into. This is going into what the invasion of America. You know, when you watch movies like Red Dawn, that movie by, I think it was Red Dawn. The first one was by Patrick Swayze, and the second one was by the dude that played Thor. I think his name was Chris Hemsworth. But one thing about it, I liked the old one better than the new one. But both of them was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It was very prophetic. If you get around to it, look up those movies. It was called Red Dawn. And I did about it. We already know that, man. These things are fast to the pro. Let's go here to Jeremiah chapter 51. We're going to go straight to the point on this one here. It says here, but we'll read this one first because it's right in my face right here. I start at verse 1. I got to start at verse 1. Then we're gonna go to the point in verse 14. I believe it's 13 or 14. It said, Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 1. It said, thus said the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that raise up against me a destroying wind. So we know at some point the Lord's gonna bring those IBCM missiles. You know, they're gonna be shot to the ends of the earth. And what is at the ends of the earth is what? America, Babylon the Great. You know, to the utter ends of the earth. So the Lord's gonna call these things to happen. So we already knowing that the Lord eyes is upon the sinful kingdom, and the Lord's getting ready to destroy this place. You know, very soon, the judgment of the Lord. It says here, verse 2, it says, and I will send unto Babylon, which in fact is America, fanners. Fanners goes into what? The enemy that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. So one thing about it, we know that China is going to be in collaboration with Russia and also with the EU and NATO. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing right now, NATO is slowly turning against what America, because they seeing what America is doing against Greenland, and also they seeing what they're doing with Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Also, they leaving them to defend themselves, like Germany saying they are preparing for war with Russia. But I think at some point that they're gonna come together. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna go and unleash hell against America. We already knowing, man, that it's going to happen. So let's go here, verse 3. I might well read all this. It said, verse 3, it said against him that bendeth let the archers bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not your young men, destroy ye utterly all your hosts. If I didn't say the scripture, it was Jeremiah chapter 3, Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 3. Let me read that once again. I don't think I said the scripture. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 3 said, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine. Brigadine goes into his armory, and spare ye not your young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Verse 4, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. Let's see here. Let's drop down to verse 6. It says here, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Said, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So the Lord's getting ready to repay. The Lord is getting ready to what? To destroy this place. And how do we flee out of what? Babylon. You know what I'm saying? America, which in fact out of this mindset, which in fact was spiritually, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said, come out of her, my people. This is not your rest. This, you know, come under that what? The wisdom and knowledge, you know what I'm saying? A renewing of the mind, you know what I'm saying? Come back under that total subjection to who? Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh. We know that wisdom and knowledge shall be what? The stability of the time. And stability goes into your what? Faith. Your faith is getting ready to be tried like you have never seen before. Verse 7 said, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Said the nations have drunken of her wine, talking about what? The philosophy. Therefore, the nations are mad. So right now, each nation had got drunken off the wine of Babylon. So now he's seeing that who is causing all these damn problems. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing right now the gig is up. You know, this place is going to be destroyed in 1 hour. That golden cup goes into America, which in fact is the #1 superpower. But right now, the Lord's getting ready to bring this place down like it never had been before. You know what I'm saying? It says here, Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. But this place is going to go down in 1 hour. Verse 9 said, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not here. Forsake her. Let us go every one to his own country, for her judgment reaches unto the heavens and lifted up even to the sky. So we're seeing a lot of people right now, they seeing that the gig is up. They're seeing that America's countries are slowly circling the drain. They're seeing that they're on a sharp decline. They're seeing that this place is finished. A lot of people going back to their own country. A lot of people getting the hell up out of here. They don't want to have nothing else to do with America. We're seeing that the BRIC nations is rising. A lot of things are constantly happening left and right. So let's go here straight to the point here. Let's go to verse 12. So we're seeing that China is doing these stimulation in the Caribbean, you know, left and right, you know, getting prepared. Verse 12, it said, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. It said, make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For the Lord has devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Verse 13 said, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundance in treasures, thy end is come, and thy measure of thy covenants. It's talking about what? The whore that sits on many waters, talking about America. And out about it, the Lord has devised this. The Lord is setting up the ambushes, you know, to bring this place down. You know, this is the Lord birth offering. So this is the point right here, verse 14, Jeremiah chapter 15 and Jeremiah chapter 51, so like it, and verse 14 said, the Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. So we seeing, you know, in that movie, the Red Dawn event, whereby I think not at the beginning, opening, you know, of that movie, whereby we seeing, you know, it was like a normal day, and we seeing that a lot of China troops were parachuting down into neighborhoods, down into cities, you know. So we already know that things like that is going to happen. You know, when the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord's going to have to lift up a standard, you know, a way to escape. Spiritual power is also right around the corner, because if the Lord is not on your side, you will be destroyed. Let's see here. It says here, let's read in NLT. It said, you are a city by a great river. It said, great center of commerce. Said, but your end has come. The thread of your life is cut. He said, the Lord of heaven's armies has taken this vow and has sworn to it by his own name. Your cities will be filled with the enemies. Said, like fields of swarming with locusts. and they will shout in triumph over you. So we already know that they have these sleeper cells in play. You know that they have these this ICE patrol, and also these undercover UN troops are here, which in fact we know that the UN is already here, and we know that these things going to happen. It's going to be invaded by Russia and China in collaboration with the EU and NATO, and also these other nations like these Arab nations, these African nations. They all going to come together. Pretty much everyone is going to come against America. Babylon the Great. We constantly warning you left and right. This place is going to be totally destroyed. And we tell you right now about this 5G blockchain technology, whereby it's going to be implantable. So we know that chip is right upon us. So let's go here to Revelation chapter 13. Let's go here to Revelation. Now let's go here to Proverbs first, because the prudent man foresees the evil. Let's go here, because we seeing exactly what's happening right before our eyes. Let's go here. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3 said, a prudent man or a wise man foresees the evil and hides himself. How do he hide himself? This wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding that shall be a stronghold or a safe haven in times of trouble. The Lord's name shall be a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe. It said, but the simple pass on and are punished. It's talking about the 2/3, the one that's constantly not considered, the one that's going on with the ways of the world, constantly, doing wickedly. They don't want to hear the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. They love it here, but they get ready to die here. We constantly warn them left and right. Let's read in the NLT. It's a prudent person foresees danger and take precautions. Said the simpleton, which in fact are the 2/3, go blindly on and suffer the consequences. And out of that second death, which in fact is the lake of fire. And what is the lake of fire? Which in fact is Babylon the Great. And how will America come a lake of fire? By those IBCM missiles and that laser fire that's coming from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, the indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. We're here, man. It's at the door. So now let's go here to Revelation. You know what I'm saying? Cause man, this is man, we here, man. We are so very close to these things are popping out right before I go here to Revelation chapter 13. We're going to go straight to the point. Because one thing about it, we bring these things out over and over again. Let's go right here to verse 16. God, man, it is here. It is at the door. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16 said, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark to charagma in their right hand or in their forehead. So we already knowing about the RFD microchip, you know what I'm saying, with that bio chip, whereby, you will not be able to buy or sell. And also we knowing about this Neuralink by Elon Musk, this brain computer face interface, you know what I'm saying, whereby, a lot of people, say that it will make you walk better, will make you see again, make you stronger, make you smarter. But one thing about it, we know that this is counterfeit technology from the left hand side. We're not ignorant of safe devices. It says here, verse 17 said, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So one thing about it, so when this new system come into place dealing with this 6G blockchain technology, you will not be able to buy or sell if you are not being a participant or being a partaker or being involved in the system. We put it like that. And one thing about it, it's going to have to go under your skin for it to work. And also you're going to have to get that digital download, which in fact are those, those hokey pokeys, which started back in 2020. So these things right here, the plan is they're rolling it out right before your eyes. And also we know right now this is going to be dealing with your biometrics. It's going to be dealing with face recognition. It's going to be dealing with eye retina scans. It's going to be dealing with carbon footprinting. And also at some point, they're going to bring this universal basic income, whereby, because, AI is going to take over all of these jobs, It's not going to be no jobs, Because AI is going to take over, because we're going into the fifth industrial revolution, where things is going to be digital, You know, so we seeing right now, everything's getting ready to go digital, you know, right now, autonomous, you know what I'm saying, whereby, you know, this new system they put in place is going to be self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be able to think on its own. You know, just like what the Terminator. You constantly warn you, these things are here. A lot of people, oh, that technology is not here. But yeah, what if some don't believe? We don't give a damn. We don't care if you don't believe, because it's happening right now before your eyes. The Lord is making mockery of you. And you gonna have to answer for all the things that you did against the prophet, you know, and out of by, you know, by your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. And one thing about it, you got to be very careful. When you come up against the men of the Lord, you better make sure that you are right. If you're not right, the Lord's going to destroy you. Verse 18 said, here's wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast. And who has the understanding, which in fact are the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, starting with the prophets, you know what I'm saying, 144, you know what I'm saying, the great multitude that the Lord is coming to deliver, the 1/3 elect, you know what I'm saying, the Israel of the Most High. It says here, it said, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600. 66, and out about, you know, it's going into that digital oil, you know what I'm saying, that branding, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, that badge of servitude, you know what I'm saying, that grain of rice, you know what I'm saying, that tri-stigma, you know what I'm saying. One thing about it, that's where we at right now. They want this total control, but this right here is going to be the consequence if you take it. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 14. We stand in the book of Revelation, because Revelation is popping right now. And also Revelation is the last book before the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Let's go here, Revelation chapter 4. We'll start up at verse 9. It said, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, talk about this system, said, and receive his mark, the charagma, in his forehead, the Neuralink, or in his hand, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to the next part. It said, verse 10 said, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of the Almighty, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Indignation goes into the Lord righteous anger. It said, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11 said, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and forever, and they had no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark, the charagma, in his name. Talking about this system. So that's where we at right now. So we coming upon this time. We coming upon a digital society that we had never seen before. These things are right before our eyes. I don't know what this devil want right here. He's sitting up here, but he going about it. I think he's going about his business. You know, I'm hoping and praying that he's going about his business. You know, it parked right in front of me on the side, but we already know that the Lord, you know what I'm saying, got them angels camped out around. The devil get busy. When you putting out this word, he's finally pulled off. You know what I'm saying? You know, so one thing about it, you know, the devil, you don't want this word to come out, but it's going to come out, whether he will hear or whether he will forbear. So we're seeing right now that, you know, if you receive the charagma or that Neuralink, that brain interface, you are going to have to suffer this second death, which in fact is the lake of fire, which in fact America would be a lake of fire because of these IBCM missiles. Because so we are very close to what? Things going nuclear, thermonuclear exchange is going to happen, just like the Bible said. We know that America will be nuked, and it will be totally destroyed. And, you know, it will be no inhabitant left here. And also we know that Israel will be nuked, but Israel will be rebuilt, because it will be the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. When you go to Ezekiel chapter 39, it'll tell you about the aftermath. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to, you know what I'm saying, the first order of business is going to be cleaning this damn place up, what these damn heathens has done. So the times of the Gentiles are almost fulfilled. So right now, so it's a penalty. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, you know, we got to what? Trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So let's go here. So a lot of people are leaning on their own understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to get a lot of people messed up. And also the Lord, you know, if he don't want you, he don't desire you, your ass going to be totally destroyed anyway. You toot the Lord pretty much. He's not dealing with your ass at this particular time, because you were that same rebellious house that did not want to return to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Let's go here to Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. So this is what we gotta totally put our total trust in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, even in death. You know what I'm saying? We go trust and believe in the Lord because we already know that the Lord is going to give us a crown of life, immortality, rulership, power over the nation. That's what we're longing for each and every day. Let's go here. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5 said, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not on thy own understanding. And one thing about it, you know what I'm saying? Trust and believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, because the Lord is the only way. You know, he's the answer. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, the Lord is going to lead us. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the path of righteousness. The Lord is going to lead us, you know what I'm saying, to what? Salvation, immortality, rulership, spiritual power. Because what? We constantly what? We fear the Lord. We love the Lord. Verse 6 says, all thy ways acknowledge or confess to him, and he shall direct thy path. So one thing about it, you know what I'm saying? The Lord will direct your path. Confess, you know what I'm saying? And also magnify his name. Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Yahweh, the great king that sits on the throne, meaning that he is, he exists. And our Lord and Savior and our great deliverer, Yahushua Mashiach, meaning that he delivers, he saves. He's getting ready to return and set everything back into order. Verse 7 said, be not wise in thy own eye, fear the Lord and depart from evil. And that's what's wrong with a lot of our people. They don't fear the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They don't love the Lord. Not everybody want to do wickedly each and every day. Let's get to one here in Daniel chapter 12. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to constantly do wickedly. You know what I'm saying? These damn truth that they don't give a damn. But guess what? In the end, they shall seek the Lord early, but they shall not find him. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 10 said, many shall be purified and made white and tried. Said, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So that's what the time we're in right now. You know, see, you can constantly put this right in front of their face, constantly telling them about, about this MOTB. We can tell you about the World War III is coming. We tell you that this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. And also we can tell you about the devil is the so-called white man. You don't believe it. Well, you don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? What if some don't believe? Guess what? It's going to happen right before your eyes. The Lord is getting ready to make a believer out of your ass. Whether you hear, whether you will for bad. Let's read this once again. It says in the NLT, it says that many will be purified and cleansed. Now, how they going to be cleansed? What? With the word. It says, and refined by these trials. You know what I'm saying? That straight gate, levels of adversity. It said, but the wicked will continue in their wickedness, and none of them will understand. Only those who are wise will know what it means, which in fact is the elect, the 1/3 elect, the house of David. And one thing about it, that's what we constantly warn you about. Left and right, it is here, it is at the door. And one thing about it is another thing I want to bring out in Revelation chapter 16. You know, about if you take this charagma or this Neuralink, this exactly too, it's going to be another punishment right here. The Lord's going to put that grievous sword, this cancerous sword that will not heal. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this right quick. It says here, and the first, Revelation chapter 16 verse 2, it says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noosome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark to charagma and the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So one thing about it, that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. We knowing that this biochip, this grain of rice, this RFD microchip, it's going to constantly emit radiation that will cause cancer under your skin. It's going to be a grievous sore that will not heal. But guess what? That is punishment from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. That's why the Lord said, do not take it. Trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So that vision is yet for appointed time. That's what we constantly warn you about, left and right. And a lot of people right now, they still thinking that they have time, but guess what? We have run out of time. It's time to seek the Lord while we still have time. It says here, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4 says, who opposing and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worship, so that he as God sits in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Who is that? So-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's constantly opposing himself. He's constantly exalting himself, trying to bring forth this new world order. He want what you call that omnipresent. He want to be like the Most High, but he in for a rude awakening. Verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. Verse 6, we turn a little light on. It might be all right, though. We'll leave it like that. We get ready to close out. See how we're looking on time. We get ready to get out of here. It says here, verse 5, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 5 said, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. That verse 6 said, and now ye know that withholding, that he might be revealed in his time, which in fact is now. Verse 7 said, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he now who letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. The mystery of iniquity doeth already work. So we seeing it right now. It's working it right before our eyes, because the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Also what the revived Roman Empire. We seeing it at work right now. And it says that he will let until he be taken out of the way. It's talking about the Most High, Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahushua. So the Lord has only given him a short season to do his bidding. But one thing about it, the Lord is going to intervene on our behalf and take this man out of the way. We cannot wait. That's exactly what's getting ready to happen. Verse 8, it said, then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So Lord is going to return from the east in that great fathership with great glory and great power. Every eye shall see him, even the one that pierced him. You know what I'm saying? Behold, I cometh with clouds. You know what I'm saying? Every eye shall see him. You know, it's talking about the UFO, the UAPs, which in fact we know them as the chariot of the Most High, that fathership, three-eyed Atlas. You know, they constantly talking about it left and right. The Lord's getting ready to intervene on our behalf. The Lord is near. The Lord is getting ready to come out of his place. And out about, you know, we're consuming him left and right with this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding. The prophets are standing on their watch, and we'll stand on fire for Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahushua. Verse 9 says, even him whose coming is after the workers of Satan. So with all powers and signs and lying wonders, and out about who is coming after the worker of Satan, who is the physical counterpart of Satan, the demon spirit, the spirit demon Satan is what the so-called white man. He's doing the bidding from the left-hand side. You know what I'm saying? And out about it, you know what I'm saying? He's coming with all this, these lying wonders. You know what I'm saying? He's coming with his technology. He's coming with his military. You know what I'm saying? This counterfeit technology. You know, pseudoscience. He's coming with all these things. AI, transhumanism. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it, you know, he will not be able to perform his enterprise. Verse 10 says, and with all deceivingness and unrighteousness in them which perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. You know, it's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? They constantly being wicked left and right. They're going to be constantly they destroy, because they love it here. And you get ready to die here. Verse 11 said, and for this cause the Almighty shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. So the Lord is going to bring you strong delusion. You know, he's going to bring all sorts of hell and all sorts of trials and tribulation, you know what I'm saying, upon you, because when the Lord called, you did not answer. Verse 12, it says that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasures in unrighteousness. Talking about what these damn wicked ass two-fairies, you know what I'm saying? They still don't believe. They still are talking about everyone can be saved. The Lord love everyone. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? You're teaching hate speech. But guess what? In that day, they shall know that a prophet was among them. You know, the Lord has spoken to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what he constantly speaking to you through his mouthpiece, the prophet. But you still think that this is a game, but all the game's about to be over. So let's go here. We get ready to close out. Let's go here to Hebrews, Hosea chapter 12 and verse 1, because the Lord's constantly speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no coincidence. You know, the man of the Lord is on the scene. You know what I'm saying? Hosea chapter, I think it's 12 and verse 10. Hosea chapter 12 and verse 10. And it reads, I have also spoken by the prophets. I have multiplied visions and used similitude by the ministry of the prophets. So that's how the Lord is speaking to you. They are the mouthpiece of Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahushua. These are not our words. These are the words of Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahushua, the one that sent us. And I about it, hey man, we're here inside the door. It's reading the NLT. So I sent my prophet to warn you. Say, and many visions and parables. That's exactly what the Lord is constantly doing. And a lot of people, the only one that will receive it is the election. You know what I'm saying? The elect, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. But guess what? This is getting ready to happen right here. You know, because we know that they come with these strict freedom of speech law, you know, whereby they're going to deem us as what? Terrorists, you know what I'm saying? Enemy of the state. You know what I'm saying? It's Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. Let's get this right quick. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11 said, behold, the days come, says the Lord, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but the hearing of the words of the Lord. So it's going to come a time where the Lord is going to shut this truth off. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to say, hey, enough. And he's going to bring forth these judgments. He's going to show you what time that we're living in. You know what I'm saying? And sin is believing. Your ass going to believe, but it's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? So we coming upon that time where people, they're going to be searching back and forth. They're going to be trying to require. What are those guys in those dresses? What are those guys that was in the highways and byways? They was hooping and hollering, talking about the white man is the devil. You're going to come forward. You're going to try to find us, but it will be too late. Verse 6, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north, even from the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it, because your ass will rebel. You know, it's time right now to seek the Lord. You know, we constantly warn you, left and right, they're going to grow faint. Oh, man, my God, Jesus. Jesus will not help you in times of trouble. Let's get a little bit more on that. Let's go ahead to Ezekiel. You know what I'm saying? Because we constantly warn you right now, the Lord's bringing it to a close. We already know that right now, you know, they putting all sorts of strict executive orders into play, draconian laws, you know what I'm saying? Tartarian law, you know, whereby, you know, already in Canada, whereby it's saying that, you know, they're doing away with the Bible. And also, you are out here being a street preacher, they're going to deem you a damn terrorist. You know, that you're causing all sorts of problems and different things, that you're teaching hate speech. You know, a lot of things are happening. Let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 3. Ezekiel chapter 3, we're going to go straight to the point. Let's go down here, because, you know, the Lord's getting ready to make our mouth cleave, make our tongue cleave to the roof of our mouth. Let's see, can I find it right quick? And, hey, man, we're here, man. These things are here once again. It says here, verse 26, it said, Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 26 said, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. So it's coming upon that time where the Lord is going to say, hey, shut up. He's getting ready to make it plain. The Lord is getting ready to show you what time that we're living in. The Lord's getting ready to bring forth that judgment. It's going to be a time of trouble that we have never seen before. Verse 27 said, but when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say to them, thus said the Lord power. Say, he that hears, let him hear, and he that forbear, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house to this day. You wicked ass toother, don't want to hear the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. Hate him that rebukes at the gate, constantly despising the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai, constantly doing all sorts of abomination, all sorts of wickedness, you know, things that is displeasing to Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai. And the Lord is getting ready to bring forth that judgment like we've never seen before. So now let's go here to Revelation. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 3. We're going to get one more, then we're going to close out. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, because this is the time that we're coming into. We're coming into a digital society whereby the hour of testing is going to come into play. Your faith is getting ready to be tried like you have never seen before. So you get ready to find out who are the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Abishai, the true prophets, the great multitude that were with the Lord over 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago that followed the Lord. So the sheep, you know, what the Lord said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me until this day. It says right here, Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, say, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, of which shall come upon the world to try them and that dwell upon the earth. So it's getting ready to be a global event like you have never seen before. They're already telling you that, you know, everyone's going to have to get this digital ID coming to this new system that they'll put into place. Also, we know that they come with that device that will be implantable under your skin. That's what we constantly warn you about. Do not take it. It said right here, you know what I'm saying, because thou had kept the patient. That means that you suffered. You persevered. You kept pushing. You kept believing. And the Lord said, I would keep thee from the hour of temptation. And one thing about it, we hoping that we're part of that number that the Lord will keep and protect, you know, in those times of trouble. So let's read in the NLT. It said, because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world. So it's coming to our testing. So the Lord's getting ready to find out. You know, the Lord's getting ready to find who love him and who don't. So that's where we at right now. We coming upon this time. So let's go to our last and final deal. We'll close out here. Tongue is about dry. And once again, man, hey, man, it's here. It's at the door. And remember, you know, the prophet started with, you know, Great Millstone and the Philly camp on down. Even though I know Tohar said, you know, he's not dealing with the Philly camp. But one thing what I would tell you is that constantly teach. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we already knowing that, you know what I'm saying, the Lord, he's going to deliver. You know, we knowing that the 144 scatter all across the world. The Lord's coming back to deliver. Constantly believe in the Lord. Constantly do his will. Keep pushing. Keep believing. No matter what happens. Keep doing the will of the Lord and bring out the what? The 100% of the truth. So now let's go here. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. We're going to close out here. Because, man, I'm telling you, man, these prophecies right now are speaking. Let's go here. It says, Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33 said, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. So you're going to find out, you know what I'm saying, when these things come to pass, these prophecies, the signs of the time, you know, right now, the vision is yet for a point of time, which in fact is now, the end is being manifest right before our eyes, revealing. These things are fast approaching, man. We're here. It is at the door. We constantly warn you, left and right is here. So let's read in the NLT, but when all these terrible things happen to them, as they certainly will, then they will know a prophet had been among them. So these things are going to be manifested. They're going to come to pass. We constantly warning. These scriptures are lighting up just like clockwork. The MOTB is at the door. World War III is at the door. Jacob's trouble is at the door. And one thing about it, the door of repentance is closing. The men of the Lord is constantly warning you, left and right. It is here. It is at the door. Constantly warning you, left and right. These things are at the door. You know what I'm saying? I like to thank everyone on the comment board for joining me on this live. You know what I'm saying? And we seeing that we're here. We knowing that we are so very close. We're so very excited. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. So before we leave, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto his truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom, keep pushing, keep believing, and the Lord is going to do the rest. We're here. It's at the door. Shalom. Shalom.